Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing great. So today I want to share with you my first impressions and my thoughts on my brand new travel camera, the Fujifilm XE-4. I picked this up yesterday. I literally haven't done much with it other than take it out of the box and look at it. So I thought it'd be really cool to share with you my first impressions of it and what I plan to do with it moving forward. If you have been following the channel for a little bit, you'd know that I was looking for a new travel camera. I used to shoot on my Fujifilm X100F. I love this camera, I think it's great, but I'm finding a few limitations with it, and so it was kind of time for me to upgrade, and I've been doing my research, looking around, and I finally settled on the XE-4. Massive thank you to DigiDirect and my buddy Nim for helping me sort this out so quickly. I'm really excited to take this with me on my next trip, which I leave for in a few weeks, so I'm really glad I got all this done, so thank you to those guys. And guys, before I go on, if you do enjoy this video, it would be great if you could give it a like or even consider subscribing. So by now you've probably seen some stills and some videos from this little camera, but right now as I'm filming this, I haven't actually shot anything with this, and so I'm just gonna give you my first impressions and opinions of it. Off the bat, it does remind me of my X100F quite a lot, particularly in size. If I show you them side by side, you can kind of tell that they are a very similar build. The X100F obviously has the inbuilt lens, which is kind of the reason why I've elected to go with the XE4, because I wanted to start experimenting with different Fuji lenses. In saying that, I did also pick up two lenses in my little haul. I got the XF23 f2 and the kit lens, which is something I wouldn't usually do, but because I do want to use this camera for a bit more video, I was kind of doing my research and found out that the kit lens, the 18 to 55, f2.8 to f4, I think, would be a really good option. Along with the lenses and the body, I did elect to go with the thumb grip. I've got that here. So the thumb grip is something that you'd slot into the hot shoe mount there, and then you've got a little spot for your thumb to rest while you shoot. I did accidentally buy the full grip, which I've got here. I didn't actually want this, but it was in the box and I accidentally bought it, so that was a bit of an L on my side. But this is an extra grip for, you can screw onto the bottom here and then have a bit more to hold on to. Not sure if I'll use this too much, but I'm definitely gonna be using the thumb grip. So if we pop a lens on, let's go with the kit lens, the 18 to 55. You can tell right off the bat that it is a really nice kind of size, particularly for travel photography and traveling in general. The feel and the weight of the camera is really good, and especially with this thumb grip, I've got a really nice kind of balance. One of the things I was seeing a lot in my review process, which I do a lot of, I watch so many YouTube videos when it comes to buying equipment, but what I was noticing is that a lot of people were talking about the viewfinder, and the viewfinder to me is actually not bad at all, especially compared to the X100F. But if you are coming from an X-T4 or an X Pro 3, I'm sure it might be a little bit of a downgrade, but personally it's really good. So just looking through it right now, like it looks really solid. Like I have no problem with it, and I think especially outside it won't be even more of an issue. So that's something I wouldn't really worry about, but something to keep in mind if you are coming from one of the other Fuji cameras. The other thing that I really love about this camera is the fact that it's got a tilt screen. So the X100F over here just had this back screen. It was built in. You couldn't really flip it out, especially if you wanted to shoot from the hip and even do video. So the fact that this has a flip out screen and it flips up like that is, I don't know, pretty awesome. I'm sure I could use it for, you know, self-timers with friends or even some video stuff. So just having that as an option is really nice. And I do like to shoot looking down at my camera, so having that flip out and not break my neck is a really great benefit too. In terms of the button layout, the XE4 is very minimal. There is no kind of trackpad on the side. There's just a little joystick, which is really good for kind of navigating focus around, which is how I shoot. And yeah, you just got two buttons here and then three buttons at the top. You can kind of see from the back there that it's not really an issue. So if minimal design is something that's really important to you, the XE4 is gonna tick that box. And for me especially, I love the look of a minimal looking camera. I think it really fits nice, especially if you're taking photos of people or strangers and doing street photography. Having something that just sits quietly on your shoulder or in your hand is a really nice benefit. And while we talk about design, in saying that, this camera is damn pretty. I can't lie, just the actual edges, the way it looks, I decided to go with the black as well. I was thinking of getting the silver and black like my Fuji X100F, but I elected to go with the black XE-4, and I'm really stoked because I think it looks really good. You might think that that is a vain thing and that cameras are just meant to shoot, but to be honest, if it looks good, you're gonna bring it with you more, and that's something I've always believed and something that matters for me. I've just taken the lens off so we can talk about the camera itself, but from a budget perspective, the XE-4 is probably one of the cheapest options in the Fuji line where you do get this incredible sensor. So the XE-4 shares the same sensor as the X100V, the X Pro 3, and even the X-T4. So these cameras usually start around the $2,000 mark. This is around the $1,000 to $1,200 mark. And so the fact that you can get a sensor that good and the video quality is in it as well for the price is something to consider too. The idea of this being a bit of a budget option for me personally is great because traveling around, I don't really want this expensive Sony on my shoulder. So having something that's a little bit less valuable, that still has the power to shoot great video, take incredible photos is really one of the biggest reasons why I did elect to go with the XE-4 over something like the X-T4. And also given the fact that this is my first introduction into Fujifilm lenses and interchangeable systems, going with these lenses and this camera made for a really easy introduction. So in a recent video where I spoke about the X100F in 2022, one of the reasons I was kind of hoping to upgrade was a camera with better ergonomics. And although I have gone with the XE-4, I can't say that the XE-4 does really tick that box. Without the thumb grip and without the larger grip I've got here, this camera wouldn't actually have many ergonomics at all. It would be quite a difficult camera as a whole, but to be honest, that was a compromise I was kind of willing to make purely because it makes up for it in image quality and the video specs. I can't expect a camera at this price to tick all of the boxes for me, but I think it was a really easy compromise considering all of the other things. When you couple that with the fact that this camera looks incredible and the design is nice and minimal, I think I was all right with the lack of ergonomics, and the thumb grip is kind of made for an easy fix there. So if you are someone where that does matter, kind of like I had, I would definitely recommend picking that up. So these are pretty much my first impressions of the camera before I've actually gone and shot with it. The flip screen is awesome, the design is nice, the feeling in the hand is great with the thumb grip, and overall the fact that you're getting such a great sensor and image quality out of a camera priced this much is a really big benefit. So off the top, this camera is really ticking a lot of boxes. But that's enough from in here, so let's go and try this thing out.